what's up, my YouTube fam? I'm back. This is Lad with the best credit repair channel. Today, we're going to be talking about how to settle a collection account. I'm going to do another video on how to dispute these accounts, but some people have disputed the accounts. They've filed CFPB complaints. It's still on their credit report, and they still want to get it out. And they want to know what is the best strategy to use to settle these accounts and get it removed. And the most powerful thing about this is pay less. Your negotiating tool to get it removed for what you think you want to pay for that collection account, and to create a contract between you and the collection agencies to guarantee that they remove this account. Right, so we're going to talk about this. Is a very, very, very powerful strategy I've been using for years that have been getting collection accounts off people's credit reports because simply they went through that process. They need to move their credit forward and they don't know what to do. You know, some people say, well, go do a pay for deletion. But if you call, in most cases, ask for a pay for deletion, you're still at the mercy of them to say, well, you need to pay this amount for us to remove it off your account. No, you want to have the negotiating tool to set what you think that account. Don't let them set it. And this is so powerful about this strategy. And we're going to talk about this today. It's going to blow a lot of people's minds. I haven't done a video on this in a while, but it was time for me to get back because I think people are forgetting about this strategy. It's definitely a very powerful strategy. So first of all, I want to say thank you for all the new subscribers coming to the channel. I've had a lot of conversations this week with new people that's been emailing me. Hey, and if you can get back to people, I'm probably one of the few peoples out here on YouTube that take my time, my free time, to just talk to people, to inform people, and to help people get their credit or give them the advice that they need with all the shenanigans and people just trying to feed you a bunch of, mess out here in the credit world. So, and I'm passionate about it. I really like helping people and see people achieve financially. So definitely want to address that. I am this week is going to start getting into investing videos on starting. We're going to start from the basis for people that have never invested, and then we're going to move into it. I'm a big investor. I don't talk about it enough, but I think it's definitely something. This is a great time because of the stock market for new investors to get in. There are always opportunities for you as an investor of key entry points into the stock market, where when the stock market does change the amount of money you can make. When COVID hit, that is when I got into the stock market and I made a bunch of money because I got in at the right time. And it's always about getting in at the right time, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. But please like and subscribe and share the channel. It just puts out the good information. It's good to have somebody who's sincere, going to be honest with you about credit, to just share that information to as many people as we can, because we want to improve our credit and to have leveraging power about money, right? The access to money. I don't care what nobody tell you. If you don't have the access to money, you cannot build your wealth, period. It's just that simple. And until you realize that and understand that, to focus on getting that access to money, you will struggle financially. I don't care how much you make, unless you're rich and you just got money to burn. But for average people, we don't have that type of money. So we want to be able to have the access to it so we can get to that level to have that type of money. So, but anyway, we're going to get into this. So what we're going to be talking about is what they call a restrictive endorsement letter. And what this letter is, it is a contract that you create that you're going to send off with a payment, right? And it's preferably you're going to use a personal check, right? So you're going to have people say, well, if they don't agree, they're just going to take the routing number and account number off the check and just pull the money out of your account. Okay, let's get a little smart, because there's always, for every action, there's a reaction. So how do we eliminate that? So what we're gonna do is what something is called is for deposit only endorsement. There is a definition for that. So to eliminate any person from extracting money out of your account without your permission, right? So even though you supplied them with a payment method, you created the scenario on how you can get that money out of my account. And that's why you use for deposit only statement. What is a deposit only statement? I'm going to read this to a deposit only endorsement is added to the back of a check in order to restrict the payment of a check to the endorser. In even more restrictive endorsement is written the name of the account number into which the funds are to be deposited, such as for deposit only to account such and such and such and such, which requires the funds to be deposited into a specific account. Writing this type of wording on the back of a check ensure that the funds cannot be delivered, right, or diverted elsewhere, for example, right? So, for example, you wrote a check. On the back of that check, you wrote for deposit only, right? So that means they cannot take it ACH. The physical check has to be deposited, right? The physical check has to be deposited, right? So now you eliminate how they can take the money. So they can't just look at the statement and take your routing number and account number and do an ACH. If they did that, you got them. They just have violated a major violation, and you would definitely be able to sue them, right? So if a collection agency did that, and we're going to get deeper into all the other stuff, if they did that, you got them. You got to listen. You just illegally subtracted money out of my account when I specifically told you the only way you can get that money is by deposit only. Now we're about to get deeper. So you say, okay, what else? So what you also gonna do is there is a letter which is in my master dispute package that is the contract. So the contract and the check coincide, they are linked together. So not only are you gonna put for deposit only on the back of the check, you're gonna put your terms and conditions on the back of the check as well. Why, you ask that? Because to deposit a check, everybody knows you have to endorse the back. You cannot go to the bank and deposit a check without endorsing the back. That endorsement is their agreement to the terms and conditions that you put on the back of the check, right? Which could mean if you accept this deposit, to remove this from my credit report, right? And then there's a letter that goes. It's a pretty decent letter that goes in, right? And it just breaks down everything about the account, what your expectations are. It just has a breakdown of everything. And then on top of that, there is a legal endorsement statement that is at the bottom of this letter that further solidifies and strengthens that you created a contract. Now listen, they create contracts for us all the time. And when we sign it, when we agree to it, they hold us accountable for it. So you as a consumer, you have that same right. The same way if you bought a car or sold a car to your neighbor, you created a contract, your neighbor signed it, they are bound by that contract that they entered into. Now, what makes it more even stronger, you have a collection account that you owe $2,000 on, right? And you like, man, I do not. And say you called and asked for a settlement, and they say, well, we'll settle it for $1,200. You're like, I don't want to pay them $1,200. I don't want to pay them $1,000. What makes this so powerful is that you can say, you know what? I'm gonna send them a check for $600, and I'm gonna use this restrictive endorsement strategy. A lot of collection companies, they don't even read the letter. They don't read the back of the check. They just endorse it. And they send it in. Some of them will go ahead and remove it. And then you have some that say, we're not going to remove it. And you know me, I'm going to keep it real with you on everything that can happen because I need to answer all those questions. But they deposited the check. Now all you have to do is go down to the bank, ask for the check, the copy of the front and back of the check with their endorsement, with your terms and conditions on the back, with the letter that you sent certified mail to them, with the terms and agreement and all the other stuff that is inside the letter. And you say, you just agreed to my terms and conditions. You agreed that you would settle this account for $600. So, and you agreed that you're going to go ahead and remove this from my credit report. Please do that. Because if you don't, all I'm going to do is take this down to my consumer lawyer, my attorney, and I just turn in all this information into you, and then we could just take it to court. Now, what do you think they're going to do? Do you honestly think they're going to walk into court that they endorsed the check with the terms and conditions, deposited the check, and they're going to go to court and say, what? That you fooled them? The terms and conditions are on the back. I also even sent you a letter with all the statements, everything that goes in there to let you know you about to enter into a legal agreement with me. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but anything that is written in writing that somebody agrees to that you wrote down is considered a contract. So now you just got out of that collection account for a lot less money and got it removed. Right. So now somebody's going to say, well, what if they just kept the check? But you're also going to put on, if you don't agree, you're going to return this check back to me. There's been some cases where some collection accounts actually read it and they'll turn it back. And it may just be the amount of money that you ask. Because some people start off really low. You can start off $2,000, send them $200 and see if they fall for it. If they fall for it, you got out of it $200. I've had a client that had a $9,000 collection account. She sent in $1,200, cashed it, they removed it. So I'm telling you, you don't have to go that route. A lot of times collection, even when you call them and you ask for a letter to say, to give them, they don't even want to do it. They don't want to be held liable or bound that they're going to do that. Right? So you have to put the mercy to trust them. And I hear stories of people where a collection company said they were going to do something and they didn't do it. Right? They are all about getting paid. In most cases, these accounts, people don't take these people to court. Right? And in most cases, they probably don't even have, and this is another class of video I'm going to have about how to dispute and your strategy on that area. They don't even have the legal grounds to collect. They know that. That's why they don't send you the information to prove to you. That's why they don't send you the purchase agreement, any titles, anything of that account that they received from the original creditor when they bought the debt. But some people have a lot going on. They got businesses, or they trying to open a business. They're trying to make a major purchase. They just need to get this stuff off, and they just don't have the time to deal with it. This is a strategy that help you. So I really want to come. If you want to learn more about this strategy, right? You know the deal. Shoot me an email. You know the deal. Once you shoot me an email, I always give my contact information, my phone number. So if you wanted to talk to me, this is my Master the Truths package with the letters, with the instructions, everything you need to do. And you got me at your back. I got your back. So if you need to call me and ask some questions, but a very strong strategy that you can use to get. Now somebody may ask me, what about an original creditor? You could definitely try it with an original creditor. If they do it, they're liable by it too. They're not exempt, right? So some people, but to be honest with you, it works more with collection companies. I have seen it work with original creditors. But original creditors, those people are a little bit more detailed. They're gonna read a little bit more, right? But I'm not saying that it's not gonna work, but I'm not gonna say it always will work. I would be dishonest if I tell you that. But it's a strategy, it's not gonna hurt you. You could try it. If they do it, fine. If they don't, fine. So, but if you want to learn more about it, let's keep it real. But it's definitely a strategy that I've used many, 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 many times and got big collection accounts removed for very little money on a percentage wise 10%, 10%, 9%, 15% of the debt, and used it. So just make sure you understand this is a powerful strategy. If you want to learn more about it, just shoot me an email. And please like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I talk to people all the time and I enjoy talking to people. I do give free credit analysis. It's my way of giving back and to be able to really help people on their journey. You just need to, anybody that asks for it to me, the only requirement I ask is you go get your credit report from annualcreditreport.com because it is a official credit report from each of the big three. So when it's inaccurate on that one, that is their certified copy that's your credit report. So if it's inaccurate, that's where you go at. So we're gonna have another video. We're gonna talk about how to dispute some the most powerful things about disputes that you need to look at when you're trying to dispute. But yes, again, if you have any more questions about what they call a restrictive endorsement letter to settle accounts for 15% or less, 20% or less of the debt, and guarantee that they entered into a contract so you can fight if they don't remove it off your credit report, just shoot me an email. You got me. I appreciate y'all. But again, like, subscribe, and share to the channel. I got you. Y'all have a blessed day, and you'll see me again. And I'm out.